Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. Fanboys, your time is up. Your time is up. The time for your false king is up. It's just nobody is buying this guy's BS anymore. And here we have another example. Byron Scott. Now, obviously, Byron Scott's not up for the job, but Skip Bayless asked Byron Scott, would he be interested in coaching the Lakers? And Byron Scott says, absolutely not. Let's check out this clip.
So I half kidded about this, but would you have any interest if they had interest in you?
No.
No?
No. I've been there, done that. And again, it's one of those jobs right now where all the pressure and all the blame is always on the coach. You got superstars and you got coaches. Coaches are getting blamed, superstars aren't. You don't have these guys taking accountability for what they've done in the playoffs or what they've done over the regular season. It all goes back to the coaches. Now, maybe some of that is legit when you talk about X's and O's and things of that nature. But for the most part, as far as I'm concerned, I think for the first time in a long time, this organization, which I love to death, y'all all know I bleed purple and gold, is in flex. They have to figure out what they're looking for and stick to it. I mean, obviously in coaching anymore, coaching in this league anymore, you don't have teams that are showing the same type of loyalty that they used to back in the day. To me, there's only really a couple of organizations that really give their coaches the chance to develop and grow with their players.
So you hear the clip. Like I said, Byron Scott said he would not be interested because the coach gets all the blame and the players have no accountability. Your star players get none of the blame, especially when we're dealing with LeBron James. And again, they fired Darvin Ham when it's like, Laker, you guys had substantial leads in that Denver series and you couldn't close the deal. Why is that, I wonder? Because your king is not a closer. He doesn't know how to close the deal. He's never been clutch. Again, they always cherry pick that one stat of buzzer beaters to try to prove that he was clutch. But how about all of the other clutch stats? LeBron James is not clutch. He also talks about how teams in general don't give the coaches long enough to build anything. I mean, again, this is kind of what we've go back to talking about so much on this channel is the consistency. The consistency of your stars. Or I should say, in today's league, the lack of consistency of your stars. The lack of consistency of the league. Again, going back to the restaurant analogy, the restaurants that are great have consistency across the board. They normally have consistent management, consistent chefs, consistent workers. It's that consistency across the board that allows you to build that continuity, that allows you to have consistency in the way in which you deliver the food to the customer. When you go into restaurants and they have new management almost every time you go, that restaurant is not consistent. It's usually reflected. Again, it's usually one of those restaurants where one day you go and you might be like, oh, this is really good. And the next day you go and you be like what happened? And to me, this is the same with the NBA. This is why we have no really great teams anymore. Because there's not that consistency. You don't allow the coach to stay with a team long enough, with the exception of a couple of teams that he mentioned. Now, obviously, one of them is the Spurs. But you don't allow teams to build that consistency. You don't allow them to have a head coach for several years. You don't allow the star players don't stick around for several years. It's like, this is a problem. And this is why you can't build a truly consistent fan base. You know, Adam Silver's contract just got renewed a month or two ago or something. You know, sad for NBA fans, sad day. And he got renewed because he said he's made the NBA so much more money. First of all, my argument is that's not hard to do considering we're in a social media age. There's so many more avenues for the NBA to travel. But my thing is, as much money as he made the NBA, it would be that much more if they hadn't alienated the core fan base of the NBA. You know, and it's gonna be. I'm gonna be curious to see what the NBA viewership looks like in the next few years, just due to the fact that I don't believe that you can sustain the casual NBA fan. You know, the fan who likes the NBA more like it's the WWE, who likes it more strictly just for the entertainment value that they try to cater to. You know, those fans I don't think will stick around long. I feel like those are the fans who, you know, they're here one day, gone tomorrow. But unless you are a true fan of the sport, you know, the true fans of the sports, those are the ones who have to watch every single game. You know, those are the ones who buying the jerseys and really invested in the team. But it hadn't been like that for a while because, again, there's no consistency in the team. Again, growing up in the 90s, we keep talking about how basketball was a part of the culture. How, you know, if you were a Chicago fan, you better believe, what's the network, WGN, you were watching every single game. It didn't matter what you were out doing, out hanging with your friends. When that game came on, it's like, hey, gotta go, game's on. Or you were going to somebody's house to watch the game. You know, again, buying the jerseys, playing basketball every day. It was part of the culture. You can't get that without the diehard fans. You can't get that without the fans who are invested in the team because they know their star player is going to be there, because the coach is there, and you build something as a team. And yes, it may take you longer to build it, but you build something more substantial. But now, so I didn't play the beginning of the clip. In the beginning of the clip, Byron Scott actually suggests, hey, LeBron James is making all these decisions behind the scenes. We know that's happening. If he's doing that, why don't he be the coach? You know, and Byron Scott had kind of a serious tone. You know, the way I took from it is it wasn't a happy suggestion. He wasn't happy that he was having to suggest that. You know, it was more like, look, if you're going to keep meddling in the business, if you're going to keep trying to control everything, why don't you be the coach? You know, why don't you stop bringing in these people to be the scapegoat for you? And they did use the word scapegoat later on in the clip. Why don't you stop that and you just be the coach, LeBron James? You know, he goes on to talk about J.J. Redick and how when he heard J.J. Redick's name, he laughed. He was like, so you got a podcast with LeBron, and just because y'all sitting down, buddy, now your name is in the hat? And this just goes, like I said, the Lakers organization is a clown show right now. It is a complete joke. You know, again, sorry, Lakers fans. I'm sorry what this guy has done to your franchise. This is just, it's unbelievable. If someone would have told me years ago that this would be the state of the Lakers franchise right now, I wouldn't believe it. If someone said, well, you know, the Lakers are going to be going on their fourth coach in 6 years, and they're going to be thinking about drafting LeBron James' son so he can fulfill his dream, and they're potentially gonna get his podcast partner to be the head coach, I would not believe it. But this is where we're at. But we gonna hold up here, you know. again, it's just another example of people who are tired of capping for LeBron. And I'm a Byron Scott fan. I like Byron Scott. He seems to be a pretty straight up dude, a no nonsense dude. You know, everybody who gets on these mainstream media can't completely tell the 100% truth. And what I mean by the 100% truth is like, hey, LeBron James is destroying the organization. He's overrated as a player. He shouldn't be top 5, top 10. You know, people can't get on there and say that, but I would actually be curious to know what Byron Scott really thinks of LeBron James. You know, I would be curious to know what he thinks of all these antics and where he places them. Because, I mean, you know, saying someone is a great player, I mean, that's relative. If you're top 30 in the NBA, you're a great player. I mean, you're top 30 out of, you know, hundreds, you know, maybe thousands of NBA players. So, yeah, if you're top 50, if you're top 75, you're a great NBA player. But the question is LeBron anywhere near that top tier? And I don't think so. You know, to me, again, that this cannot be the case when you do the things that you do, when you've got your accolades in the way that you've achieved them, you know, through, again, shortcuts and cheating. But yeah, fanboys, your time is up. Your king, he is definitely wore out his welcome. People have, I think this was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back when people saw, hey, Lakers, like y'all had substantial leads in this series. You had substantial leads. Players, that's on you to keep those leads. And now you scapegoating Darvin Ham and fanboys. Yeah, you know, I hope you guys are suffering appropriately, because it's just gonna continue to get more. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should LeBron James just go ahead? I mean, Lakers might as well at this point. You're a clown show in every other way. So, you know, let LeBron James coach, and, you know, that way he'll always draw up the right play on the court. He'll always make the right play, and you guys shouldn't have a problem getting to the championship next year. Let's go ahead and do it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.